You know, if England is 6 hours ahead of us, why don't they just tell us the future? Just saying.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
I cannot be the only person who has been feeling like content has been nothing but politics. But what's crazy is how scary it's getting. And so I'm like thinking of alternate plans to like leave the States and go live abroad. But then it's like, what did my family come here for? Like, this is exactly the opposite of the reason they came here. And then on that side note too, like, even the company I work at, like, the CEOs are incredibly greedy. Like, how are you gonna make trillions in dollars in profit and you can't cough up like $1,000 extra for your employees? Like, that's nothing to that. So I just wanted to voice my opinions on TikTok because I'm not gonna be on it. Do follow my red note though. Follow my red note, follow my Instagram, but I won't be on TikTok because this shit is just toxic now.
I don't understand how fucked up America gotta be for you to work hard and still have no fucking where to go. It's just like, oh my gosh, when is it all going to end? Like, y'all, it's so bad to the point where even though you work, you more than likely can't even eat every day. Not even 3 times a day. Me, none. Yet they expect us to keep working with a smile on our face. Fuck all of that. I be seeing why people don't fucking want to work. They pay us a little bit of money, but make everything fucking expensive. I'll be damned if I'm putting my life on the line for $14, $15. And then the whole time, your ass can get hurt or die at the fucking job you're at. So now you done fucking wasted your whole life being a hard worker to a company that don't give a fuck about what you got going on. Don't give a fuck that you don't have nowhere to go. Just don't give a good goddamn. And certain people will never understand the frustration. You guys will never understand unless you're going through it. There is no reason why hard workers can't afford to eat, can't afford to live, can't afford to pay rent. It is so much. And I just wanted to let everybody out there know, okay? If you are deciding to bring your ass to America, hold on, y'all. Stay the fuck over there. Do not come over here. Please. I beg of you. This shit sucks. All prayers to all my Americans, all my USA motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, my cousins, all that. We gotta figure something out, because this ain't gonna work for me.
Hey, you man, I just been in my room, just sleeping, and I've just been thinking, why is the UK so dead? Like, there's nothing to do. Every day it just feels like it's the same thing. Like, genuinely, yeah, there's actually nothing to do. Like, it just feels so dead in this country. Like, I feel like I just gotta get out, like, go somewhere else. I don't even care if it's like some next island, you know? But this country, nah, like, I'm not feeling it, you know? Like, before, it was somewhat okay, I guess, but no, hell no. The UK is not it right now.
I'm leaving Canada and I'm not coming back. I'm actually tweaking right now. The only reason I will ever come back to Canada is if I legally fucking have to, or if I need to make money to leave again. I just finished crying because the healthcare system in this country is so fucking bad. I have been a Canadian citizen since the second I was born. And tell me why I can't find a doctor when I do go to a walk-in clinic, and there's only 2, okay? When I do go to a walk-in clinic, they will only let me talk about one thing at once. I went to a walk-in clinic today, and the thing that I talked about was so quick. It was about me, like, getting a blood test. All he had to do was print out a piece of fucking paper. And I said, oh, since it was so quick, can you please look at my left ear because I can't hear anything out of it. And he says, no, you can only talk about one thing at a time. I said, and so now I'm sat here, I can't hear anything out of my left ear, and I have to go back again. Canadian healthcare is supposed to be free. Tell me why I have to pay for my hepatitis B shot, bro. Why the fuck? It's not like an optional vaccine. You're supposed to get your hepatitis B. Anyways, so in 1 week I will be in Singapore. I really hope I can hear out of my left ear before I'm in Singapore. But in 1 week I'll be in Singapore, and I bought a one-way ticket, and I don't know how long I'm going to be in Asia, but I'm going to be in Asia for many, many months. And then after that I'm going to come back, and I'm going to make hella money, and I'm going to fuck off again to a new continent because I can't do this anymore. In Canada we have individuality, lack of culture, everybody's alone. You get like 2 weeks off of work a year, maximum. Everybody's fucking depressed. The weather is shit. I literally slipped on the ice today coming back from my walk-in clinic appointment. After 23 years, I'm failing to see like the purpose of living here. Like, I'd rather be a Canadian citizen than like a Venezuelan citizen, for example. But I feel like Canada is slowly turning into a third world country, and I'm just like, no, I'm gonna leave. If you're a Canadian citizen, you can go to the Canadian government website and you can apply for working holiday visas to an insane amount of countries. If you have Italian descent, like if your parents are Italian, if your grandparents or your great-grandparents are Italian, you can apply for Italian citizenship, and you don't even have to live in Italy. Once you get Italian citizenship, that is EU citizenship, and you can live anywhere in the European Union. If you have the opportunity to leave this country, you should fucking do it, okay? And some people will say, oh, well, you can go to these other countries, and this country also doesn't have good healthcare, and this country this, and this country that. Okay, I would rather go to another country that also has shitty healthcare, but I can afford to live, you know? Like, I'm not paying $2,000 for an apartment. I'm not paying fucking $250 for 2 weeks worth of groceries for one person. I'm not doing that.
So 2 years ago, it was Don Japa. And this year it is Japada, or whatever that is called, people that are relocating out of the UK back to Nigeria. One thing people are not understanding is that a lot of people who are Japadaing already have indefinite leave to remain, and a lot of them already has British citizenship. That's the first category of the people that are Japadaing, whatever it's called. Then another set of people that are Japadaing are people who couldn't pass their exams, people who couldn't, if you don't pass your exam, you're not able to get COS, and you're also not able to get post-study. That's if you came through the school route. So the third people who are Japadaing are people who just couldn't cope. They couldn't cope with the change. They couldn't cope with the responsibilities that comes with the Western world. So they just pack up and leave. I've had a lot of people, women whose husbands are just packed up to leave. One of them specifically told me that he was under so much pressure of behaving properly, like behaving normally, that he said he couldn't do it, that every day he tells her, oh, you're going to call police for me. Oh, so if I hit you now, oh, those things. And it drove him crazy that there was an expectation for him to have a proper behavior, that he packed up and left. Then I also know a lot of people who couldn't cope with working 2 jobs. That's because of the age factor and health factor, which is quite understandable. So this is for people that are still here and trying to make ends meet. Oh, I've just realized that one of my earrings is gone. I had this earring for too long. Okay, let me not digress. It's hard, but it's worth it. I know this. I don't know how to explain it, but I know this. UK gave me wings to fly. There was no way I could have gotten that wing if I was in Nigeria. It's not possible. So if you're still on the journey, keep on going. Keep on going. You'll be fine. Keep on going. It's hard, I know, but it's worth it. It is worth it. Trust me, it's worth it.
Alright, let's talk about this comment. So this comment right here is the #1 thing I get asked by most Canadians when they hear I've just moved to Toronto from New Zealand. First of all, I want to say, I get it. I'm from Auckland. Auckland is the biggest city in New Zealand, just like how Toronto is the biggest city in Canada. What I think people fail to realize is those problems that you have in this big city here in Toronto, we have them in New Zealand too. And I know that most people's perceptions all over the world of New Zealand is that it's this magical place filled with hobbits, and it's a paradise paradise when no one has any problems. Like, I feel like when I tell people I'm from New Zealand, they picture this. Another beautiful day in Hobbiton. Time to ask Jacinda Ardern for another $1 million. But in reality, sure, it's beautiful and there's no other place like it in the world and I love it to death, but it's not really like that all the time. You know those problems that people in big cities like Toronto love to go on about? Inflation, expensive housing, poor public transport, traffic. We have them in New Zealand too. Before I moved here, all the YouTube videos of like things to know in Toronto before you moved here all say the same thing. Get ready because it's really expensive. And every time I saw one of those videos, I'd just be like, bro, I'm from Auckland. Try me. Auckland's housing crisis is wild. People are used to sitting in traffic for an hour and buses never turn up on time. Don't get me wrong, I love Auckland and New Zealand in general, but it ain't perfect. All this to say, the grass is always greener on the other side. It doesn't really matter where you are unless you're stopping to smell the flowers. But to answer your question, the reason we moved here is, you know, a change of pace and maybe some new career opportunities.
Also because you guys have Cinnabon here.
We just found out that we're listing our apartment in Vancouver for sale at the beginning of April because we are moving to Europe this year, my husband and I, because I built an online business that basically has created freedom for both of us. And I'm honestly still shook by the fact that this date has come up so quickly. I thought that we were going to be like listing our place in like July or April or something. And now it's actually been confirmed that we are going to be out of Canada and in Europe before the end of July. And I'm honestly just like, I can't believe it. My husband and I have been trying to move to Europe for literally since 2019, February, when we first met. But first there was the pandemic, and then my husband had a massive health struggle, which thank God he's fine now. But literally all of these roadblocks have been going on for literally like 5 years. And only now, finally, are we actually fucking moving to Europe, and we're moving to Spain. Which means no more freaking dreary weather, no more Vancouver. I'm going to be living in Valencia, where it's like right next to the beach. We're going to be in a beautiful apartment, somewhere in a high rise. We're going to be eating freaking paella every day, practicing our Spanish. I'm about to literally blow my life the fuck up.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
There is no way I plan on staying in Canada. Imagine making 5 to 10K a month in America or Canada, and more than 50% of your income goes to just shelter and taxes. I've made a consecutive decision that I will only be looking for remote and online work because I do not plan on settling down and living my life in Canada. And every time I tell people that I want to leave the country, live somewhere else, and try something new, the first thing they always say is, bro, everywhere you go is bad. It's all like this. It's the same shit. But if you are to make Canadian money, let's say 5 to 10K a month, Canadian currency, you hear me? And then you go to some place like Thailand, for instance, or Bali, or Malaysia, or Eastern Europe, or Middle East. Bro, in some places you could live like a king. And if you make 10K in Canada, for instance, bro, 50% of your annual salary is going back to the government. For what? Your roads are fucked up, crime is through the roof, homelessness is everywhere, taxes are out the ass. What good? The infrastructure is not even that nice. Like, what good is there here? Somebody explain this to me. Freedom? You don't have freedom. Bullshit. And trust me, I know that corruption happens everywhere you go, but if you are to make your own money digitally, you get to choose what type of corruption you want to deal with. And the corruption that's happening in Canada is not for me. So remember this TikTok, because I swear to God, when I'm out of here, I am stitching this shit and I'm coming back and telling everybody this is what I told you, and I'm leaving it because this place is going to drown. And everyone that stays here, y'all gonna drown with it.
It is hilarious to me how people from second and third world countries always want to come to the United States and other first world countries, but have no clue what it takes to make it over here. They have no clue how people are living here. Hardly any sleep. We are here only to pay bills. It is not child's play here. The amount of stress that it will take, the amount of work that it will take, they have no clue.
You guys, my aunt lives in Paris, France, and she just sent something in the group chat that is quite alarming. So she sent this article that she read that they're about to go in France house by house, giving you a manual on what to do in case of a war, basically. Like, I keep up with the news. I have been taking a little break just because this Trump thing, the first few months of the year was insane. But did something happen? Like, are things getting worse? Like, what is actually going on?
2 years ago, I was working a shitty job, bruv. I was doing care work, working like 4 or 5 days a week, 10, 12-hour shifts, right? Now, looking after people is not a bad thing. That's not what I'm talking about before anyone starts crying, yeah? That is not what I'm talking about. It's the people you work with. Every fucking job in the UK is the same. You work with a bunch of people, you try and keep to yourself, mind your business, get paid, go home and go about your business. Everyone you work with talk shit about each other, bro. Everyone. Why is he wearing this? Why is she always talking about her man? Who does she think she is wearing those heels? All this bullshit, yeah? And I knew, like, yo, there is more to life than doing this for the rest of my time on this earth. Like, there's way more to life, bruv. The UK is so fucking shit, bro. As soon as you can speak fluent English, you've done the basic education, and you've got a British bank account and British passport set up, and you want to be an entrepreneur, fucking just make an effort to leave. Honestly, there's nothing else here, man. If you want to settle down and chill, cool. If you want to pursue your life and make something of yourself, fucking prepare to leave, bruv. Yeah? But anyways, going back to that now, I was working this fucking bullshit job, and I thought, you know what, I need to become an entrepreneur. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but we're gonna make something happen regardless. We're not gonna fucking give up, bruv. We're not gonna quit. Yeah?
The UK just is not a dream country for us to live in anymore. You know, the weather is absolutely depressing. It brings down our moods. We're either workaholics who rarely have any free time, or we're tired and broke. You know, we are absolutely taxed on everything. Inflation is continually peaking, and, you know, most people can barely afford to live or pay their bills. The younger generation are going to find it so hard to get on the property ladder. I actually read a recent article about how a third of young people will never be able to afford to buy a home. You know, they're never going to be able to get onto that property ladder. How sad is that? And, you know, crime is at its absolute peak. There is drugs everywhere. And I want my daughter to feel safe where she's living. And generally, the quality of life is just getting worse. You know, 20 years ago, there were no waiting lists for anything. The quality of life has completely deteriorated. Oh, why else would you want to live in the UK?
And these are just a few of the reasons why we want to move out of the UK as a family.
Why I left France, and a few reasons why I don't necessarily recommend living there. I just want to start this with saying that I do really appreciate my time when I lived in France, and I do think any time that you live outside of your country is a beautiful opportunity to expand your mind. So I do recommend it, but here are some of the negatives. First off, one, France really values higher education. So if you do not have a master's degree, or you haven't worked a few years in your current job, you're gonna have a very hard time finding a job there. If you don't have a master's degree, it's probably not going to happen. Bac plus 5 is what everybody has, and that's a master's degree. Okay, number 2, very low salaries. Okay, in comparison to the United States. Okay, I live in New York City. Salaries here are high. Okay, going from NYC to Paris, that was my number one mistake. I ignorantly thought if I had my New York salary in France, my life is going to be amazing. And fuck yeah, it would be. But that's just unfortunately not the case. Just for context, I'm a hairstylist. Hairstylists, because we are not college educated, we are considered bottom feeders in France, right? So hairstylists earn pretty much minimum wage, like less than 2,000 euros a month before taxes. So my salary after taxes was 837 euros a month, which sucks. The third thing is, I personally find Paris's cost of living very high in comparison to the salaries. For example, our old apartment, shout out Amanda, who's living in our old apartment, I think we paid 1350 euros a month. That doesn't include like Wi-Fi, doesn't include like heat. You have to pay for water in France too. Let's say you round it up to like including Wi-Fi, including all your bills. It was like 1,500 euros a month. Mind you, my salary was 837 euros a month. So number 4, France. This is actually just not a France problem. This is a Europe problem. There's a lot of xenophobia in Europe. You have to remember, these are OG colonizers, okay? These countries, they're not looking for you to move there and embrace wherever your background is. They're looking for you to integrate into their society, which I agree to a point, but I think France goes a little overboard on that. They want you to only be French, and you cannot really show your other, wherever you're from. And for me, that was the biggest reason that I didn't want to stay and live there anymore. I experienced lots of xenophobia towards myself, but also like seeing my friends of color, how they were treated. I mean, that's the part that I can't get over. Also, my husband is Jewish. I am not Jewish. Therefore, in Jewish culture, our daughter is not Jewish, right? So our children are going to experience some type of, anti-Semitism in general, because there's a lot of anti-Semitism in France as well. There's also xenophobia. And so she's going to have a problem, or any of our future children, of not being pure European. Now, you might think that's a little ridiculous, but when I was an au pair, the family I worked for, there was a kid at their school, and he was Italian American, and the kids told me that other kids called him dirty, like sale, il était sale, because his mom was from Florida and his dad was Italian. Like, he wasn't pure European. And to me, I think that's disgusting. These are children. Who are children learning stuff from? Obviously, they're racist and xenophobic parents, right? I just don't want that for my child's life. That's why I love New York City. I feel like there's so much diversity here. So for those reasons, I can't recommend living there, but live abroad. It'll change your life.
Good morning, guys. I just want to hop on here and talk. And these are some of my own personal things of how I feel. Ain't projected to y'all, but hey, if you feel it, hey, cool. But I just want to be the first to say, and maybe somebody done said it before me, I hate living in America. I don't understand why our bills are every 30 days, why we have insurance, why we have all this stuff that reoccurs every 30 days. It's like a cycle to keep us poor and down and broke. And I just don't get how we as Americans feel like we live in the dream. Because this dream, if this is the dream, the American dream, I want the fuck out. Like, y'all, I want out so fucking bad. Like, it don't even make no sense. Like, some days I be irritated just to wake up in fucking America. Like, y'all don't understand how these people got y'all so stuck in a matrix of working this cycle. And then when people like me be like, bro, why is this like this? Because no other countries, they don't live like this. They don't treat their people like this. Like, you can go to China and buy your apartment, and they don't have homeless people. Like, why do we got so many homeless people, but we got so many vacant apartments? So many homeless people, but so many vacant apartments. Crazy. Like, can somebody answer that for me? Why is it that in America, all of our bills cycle every 30 days? So you never get a break from ever paying a bill unless you really get ahead. And the only way you're really going to get ahead is if you become a business owner or entrepreneur. And even in that, you still have to strive and work so hard, because America has made it that hard for us to stay in this cycle. You have to pay for every certification, every degree, every little thing that you damn near do, you got to pay for it here. And that's crazy to me, because a lot of this shit, we talk. And when I say we, my ancestors, the native Indian indigenous people to this motherfucking land, that y'all took and now making us pay for. That's so crazy to me. And some of y'all gonna look at me and be like, oh, you're black. I'm not fucking black, okay? My daddy is Indian. And he got paid for being Indian. And then I still don't understand how a lot of y'all don't know y'all ethnicity and still following suit to the categories that these people created back in the 60s and 50s. They said that all these Indian tribes became extinct, no longer exist, but then now you have Mexicans and Hispanics and all these other names. Bro, they just changed the name, changed our languages, and moved us around. Wake the fuck up. America has been lying to y'all all y'all life. Like, literally, they showed us my whole fucking life that Africa was poor, bro. Like, I thought that people in Africa lived in huts, that they didn't have no food, that they didn't have no cars, they starved. That shit ain't true, bro. They got houses, they got cars, they got money, they live in luxury. Like, they have updated world things. But that's not what America showed us. Like, that's not what America showed us. And then a lot of us don't understand that the United States of America is a corporation. Let's talk about that. It's a corporation. It's a business. And because we have birth certificates, we're under their fucking business. Their socials, our socials, all of this. We are tied to their corporation. That's how come with the law and the government and all of that, we got to abide by it because we follow suit to their corporation. We've become an entity of their corporations. Not knowing, because y'all just believe that when we were born, oh, I need to have this birth certificate. In any other country, ask them folks how their birth certificates are done. Yeah, not by the government a lot of the times. A lot of these people have their private documents that were kept in the family of when someone was born, written and all of that. Think about the time when they brought out the census. It was so they can have control. And y'all people is still not woke to this. And I might be talking to myself, but I hope somebody hear me. Because at the end of the day, America, this is not the dream.
So as we know, the UK's quality of life is down the pan, completely down the pan. People can't afford to buy, people are struggling to buy groceries, heat their homes, like the energy prices are absolutely insane. You know the story, right? Many people feel like they're just simply existing. They're getting through paycheck to paycheck, month to month, depressed, unmotivated. Because, to be quite frank, the only motivation is basically not being thrown on the streets and starving to death. And I'm here to say it, we should not simply just exist and be a slave to somebody else. Like, your wage should allow you to live a comfortable life. At the end of the day, we spend most of our life working, and what do we have to show for it? What anybody likes to throw in, oh, you're just entitled. I don't think it's entitled to expect to have a decent quality of life when you spend most of your time at work being employed. You have to come home, rinse and repeat every single day. And weekends are just recharge time or admin work. Half the time you can't even enjoy them properly. We literally live to work, and most people can't even afford a decent quality of life. That is just fucked.
People are coming out of university with degrees that don't really mean anything, and it's a waste of time and money. They're trying to get into workplaces, and the workplace either doesn't want them, or it accepts them on a very low wage, or it takes them on and realises that the university graduate is at such a low level that they have to be completely trained again, even though they've just gone through 4 years or 3 years of university training to apparently go for this role, that they know so little and they have such a massively inflated ego that it's all a nightmare. So unfortunately, university isn't preparing people for the future. It is struggling. There are some good university degrees. I'm not going to say there are none, but many of them, I would say 90% of them could easily be reworked or scrapped altogether. University system is broken, and it's producing broken people.
If you're a mum and you live in the UK, What's your game plan? Do you plan on raising your kids here? Do you plan on staying here? Because even taking a walk with my dog and my baby, what is this? Like literally, what is this? And if you're a mum that's been living here, maybe 2 kids or more, what's kept you here? Apart from family, what's really kept you here? Because depression, they say that UK is full of opportunities, and I don't dispute that. Is this worth it? I'm not too sure at all. If you know that you are within this category of people, Japa, like Japa. Now, when it comes to videos online, you see people saying, you shouldn't Japa. There's some set of people that should actually Japa. One, you are 30 and above, earning very low or unemployed. When I say earning low, I mean vis-a-vis the money, the inflation rate in Nigeria. You're not earning enough. Please, Japa. If you have the money, Japa. Then 2, you're a healthcare professional. Healthcare professionals in Nigeria are very, very underpaid. Very, very underpaid. Please, if you have the means, leave. Another set of people that should actually Japa, those people that have transferable skills, IT skills, you have developed yourself, like you have and you have those skills, but you're being underpaid in Nigeria because they will not pay you what you're worth. Please carry your skills. There are lots of companies, once you position yourself well, who would employ you, and you start getting value for your skills. Okay? Another set of people that should Japa, you're young. In fact, I just admonish all the young people in this life. The younger you are, the better. Japa, run! Let us be praying. Let's be praying for the country. Let's be praying for Nigeria, from this place. It go better. It's gonna get better. But until then, please run. Another set of people that should Japa. If you know that within the next, like you're in Nigeria corporate, and in the next 5 to 7 years, the next 7 to 5 years, you probably won't be, it doesn't look like you'll be in top management or senior management or whatever it's called. Please pack your bags. Lastly, you should Japa if you're starting to have mental health issues regarding just being in Nigeria, and you just need just a sane environment where you can get basic amenities. It's not even about the money, but you just need a saner environment, because you can't deal with, maybe you had to experience kidnapping, all of those things. Nigeria has happened to you a couple of times, and it's giving you anxiety just living there, not knowing what will happen next. That's not living. Please escape. Japa, by all means necessary. Your mental health is of more importance to you than any other thing, not even money. So yes, you should leave. Another set of people that should Japa. You're doing business, but the business is turning on its own, or the business is doing you. It's not you that's running the business. The business is running you. All your money, all your profits, you're spending it on generator, stuff, this, that, and it's just, as it's coming in, it's going out. Or Nigeria is actually happening to you. Say no more. Job. See, Nigeria go better. We're all praying for Nigeria. But you know what can happen? What can be better? You can pray for Nigeria from anywhere. You don't have to be in Nigeria to pray for Nigeria. I just said I should let you know. I said I should let you know. You don't have to be in Nigeria to pray for Nigeria. It go better.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.